News 25 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Five people are killed in weekend crashes, and protests lead to arrests and injuries in Las Vegas.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Several horrific crashes result in multiple deaths and injuries. It's Monday, June 1st, and I'm Janet Errett in for Deanna O'Donnell. 3 people were killed Sunday in a violent head-on crash on California Highway 178 near Shoshone. Emergency responders from Pahrump were called to assist in the rescue efforts.
Just before 1 p.m. yesterday, we were dispatched for a report of a mutual aid assignment on Highway 178, which is located in the state of California. It is the connecting road between Pahrump and Shoshone. As we were dispatched, we were informed there was a 2-vehicle accident with numerous patients and possibly several fatals. As we arrived on location, we found a highly dynamic incident in which 2 vehicles struck head-on at an apparently high rate of speed. The resulting damage was significant to both vehicles. We found several people entrapped. Others were declared deceased at the scene. Crews launched 3 medical helicopters to the scene. 3 patients were transported. It ended up being that 3 additional were transported by our local ambulances to the local hospitals. There was 2 people deceased at the scene and had to be extricated and recovered after the investigation was completed. And an additional person passed away on the UMC helipad as the Mercy Air helicopter was landing. It was a highly dynamic incident, extensive damage to both vehicles. It was a horrific scene.
Authorities have not released the names of those who died in the crash. The surviving victims are all from California. 1 man died as a result of a crash Friday night on Highway 160 near the Nye County-Clark County line.
Friday evening, we were dispatched for a report of a 1-vehicle rollover. It was initially unknown as to the status of the occupant. As we arrived on location, we found a highly dynamic scene in which a vehicle rolled, apparently multiple rotations. The occupant inside the vehicle had sustained critical injuries and was entrapped. Heavy Rescue 1 went into service quickly, got the patient out of the vehicle and transported him to the local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased.
A GoFundMe campaign has been started to help the family of a Pahrump man who was killed late Saturday night. Man Ince died when this ATV crashed and overturned on Wheeler Pass.
Around 1 o'clock in the morning, we were dispatched for a report of a 1-vehicle accident approximately 7 miles up on Wheeler Pass. Crews responded. They found a off-road vehicle and they found a single occupant who did not survive the injury sustained in that rollover type accident.
As of late this afternoon, the GoFundMe Memorial Campaign has raised nearly $7,000 toward the goal of $8,000. A classic car was destroyed by fire inside a garage at a home on Summit Avenue in Pahrump, but thanks to the quick actions of firefighters, the home itself was saved from the flames.
What was initially dispatched as a report of a vehicle fire was actually a vehicle in a attached 2-car garage. Crews arrived on location and found heavy fire showing from that garage. It was extending up the wall surface on what we would call Division A, which is the front of the structure. Crews commenced a quick defensive exterior attack and quickly knocked down the main body of fire. Therefore, there was no extension into the primary occupied space. And another engine company came in and laid a 5-inch supply line, supplied the first due engine. They made quick knockdown of the remainder of the fire. There was a heavy fire loaded within the garage. In addition to the vehicle that started the fire, there were numerous motorcycles and other personal property stored within. The garage has sustained all the damage, and in the front face had fire damage going up the front. However, the occupied space was without damage. It's thought to be accidental in nature related to probable malfunction of the car that was stored in the garage.
The car destroyed in the fire was a 1978 Chevrolet Corvette. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
News 25 is brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing.
With With new safety guidelines in place, GM is ramping up production. A Tyson chicken plant is temporarily closed after hundreds of workers test positive for coronavirus. And JCPenney plans to reopen 500 stores. Angela Miles has more.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, General Motors will be accelerating production this week at plants in North America starting today. And that includes the assembly plants in Michigan and in Texas, where some of GM's more profitable vehicles are being built, such as the Chevy Silverado and Cadillac Escalade. GM executives say that company has a comprehensive plan for screening, cleaning, and social distancing, all in an effort to ensure that workers are safe. A Tyson pork plant in Storm Lake, Iowa is being sanitized this week. The plant is temporarily closed after 555 of its 2,500 workers tested positive for coronavirus. JCPenney plans to have 500 stores open this week. The retailer is asking landlords to pause on asking for rent.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
An independent testing facility hired by the family of George Floyd and the Hennepin County medical examiner have concluded his death was a homicide, but they disagree on what caused it. The Floyd family and their expert says the Minneapolis man passed away from asphyxiation from sustained pressure when his neck and back were compressed by Minneapolis police officers during his arrest last week. But the medical examiner's office, in its report also released Monday, said that the cause of death is cardiopulmonary arrest complicated by law enforcement's subdural restraint and neck compression. The death has been ruled as a homicide. The officer has been arrested in this case, and the county said that fentanyl and methamphetamine were among the significant conditions, but its report didn't say how much of either drug was in Floyd's system or that if it may have contributed. The 46-year-old man died after police were called for a report of Mr. Floyd allegedly buying cigarettes with a counterfeit $20 bill. The video shows the officer with his knee on the back of Floyd's neck for over 8 minutes while Floyd tells him he can't breathe, and onlookers urge the officer to let him up. Protests throughout the United States have left some people dead and injured. The Floyd family has urged peaceful protests. 12 Las Vegas officers were injured over the weekend and over 100 people arrested, included journalists who were working at the location, according to reports. Governor Sisolak has called in the National Guard in Reno after protests and break-ins into government buildings. Local bar owners are thrilled to be able to reopen their doors, and one of those is the Bearded Lady Saloon in Pahrump. Kelli Sater spoke with News 25 about what it's like to be back in business.
I am so excited. The bar is open. We are back in business, baby. So we got a beer garden, so if you want to make reservations, you can sit inside the bar. If you do not have reservations, we have a beer garden outside that you can sit at and have a couple drinks and then wait until there is an available spot open. We actually extended our hours, so we were open from 1 p.m. until whenever y'all are done drinking. But apparently y'all like drinking pretty early, so we extended our hours from 11 a.m. until y'all are done drinking. So I can't really say a closing time, but opening time is 11 a.m. I am so happy. This has been the best. I'm so excited. I'm excited actually for all of Pahrump because we've been waiting a long time, and it's finally come to this. I really love this town, and I love the people in this town. You know, people tell me I've done a lot, but you guys have done so much for me. When I needed help, people donated, and it was awesome, and oh my God, I just can't even express how happy I am that we can all be doing this together. It's not about competition, it's about working together, and I found that the more businesses work together, the better they do. So I am not about trying to shut down other bars. I am more about, let's work together, let's make this town fun. Let's make it something where people are like, hey, I went to Pahrump last weekend, and they're like, oh my God, I love Pahrump. So, you know, I love Ruthie the Bounty Hunter and Sandra at the Wild Side. You know, the Phoenix has been doing great. You know, there's a lot of bars that have been doing really good. Daryl at Arnie's, you know, all these bars are doing really, really great, and they've been here a really long time. I'm new, so it's really nice to get along with everybody and that we can all help each other out instead of work against each other. We are at 1330 5th Street in Pahrump, Nevada. And follow us at the Bearded Lady Saloon on Facebook. We post all of our upcoming bands, events, everything. I know that we promote as a biker bar, but we're an everybody bar. You know what? If you're country, if you're hippie, if you're whatever, you know, we're not just for one person, we're for everybody.
We'll be back with more News 25 right after this break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Many people are wondering how long it will be before we have a vaccine to protect against COVID-19. According to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Daniel Culver, there are more than 100 vaccines in various stages of development.
Vaccine development is going very quickly right now, and it is going about as well as we could hope. Investigators around the world are leveraging a number of new platforms for delivering vaccines to patients, including viral-based vectors, proteins delivered in novel ways, RNA-based vaccines, DNA-based vaccines, and conventional inactivated viral vaccines.
Preliminary phase 1 trial data is emerging. One study out of China looks at harnessing a type of cold virus as a Trojan horse. The inactivated virus is engineered to trigger the immune system to produce antibodies to fight novel coronavirus. Early results show the vaccine is safe and increases antibody and cell responses. The next step is to prove that the vaccine actually provides immunity to COVID-19. Another group is researching a novel RNA-based vaccine. A small phase 1 study shows the immune system responds to the vaccine, but now investigators need to prove it's effective in preventing infection. Dr. Culver says its early study results are encouraging, but he reminds us there's a long way to go.
While we're all very excited about the promising news that are coming out with a couple of these vaccines so far, we're really just at the opening stages of this. And we have to see that these vaccines are effective in large-scale clinical trials before we will know that we have a vaccine for SARS-CoV-2.
Dr. Culver says these vaccines will need to pass 2 more stages of research before they're considered viable. He adds that despite promising findings in early phase 1 trials, most vaccines don't make it through the next 2 rounds of testing.
The Nye County School District says that the recent earthquake has caused damage to a Tonopah school. Due to the 6.5 magnitude earthquake 35 miles west of Tonopah, Nevada, on May 15, 2020, a series of aftershocks have occurred in the area following a 3.3 magnitude aftershock on May 27th. Staff at Tonopah Elementary School noticed a door in the administrative building would not close properly. Nye County School District maintenance and operations staff inspected the building. It was determined the door malfunction was likely a result of shifting due to the recent earthquake activity, along with related minor damage to other areas of the campus. Maintenance and Operations Director Joe Schmidt, along with school administrative staff, completed a thorough inspection of the entire campus. For the safety of all, it was determined all buildings at the school site will remain vacant until further notice. The vacancy order is a precaution as aftershocks may continue without warning. Structural inspectors will be contacted to determine the necessary repairs. There are dozens of great pets ready for adoption from Desert Haven Animal Society. Today, Darbie O'Donnell introduces us to one of them, a cat named Oreo.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darbie here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Oreo. I believe that Oreo is named that because he's eaten so many Oreos, because he's a really chunky cat. He's a sweet little boy. At the shelter, they call him a little old man. He is an older cat. He's mainly all black, but he has some beautiful details of white and a little black nose. He gets along really well with kids. He's just looking for his forever home. So Oreo does qualify for the senior to senior program. So seniors over the age of 65 can come to Desert Haven and get free adoption fees. They also have a veterans program where any active or retired military gets free adoption fees as well. So if you want to come and see Oreo or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can stop by. They're still taking appointments for you to come and see the animals. Just call ahead of time, 775-751-7020, or you can always look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Oreo.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Now let's take a look at our weather cam. Beautiful sunny day. It's been a little breezy today. And we'll be right back with more weather after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 101 degrees, a low of 76, 106, a low of 79 in Death Valley, 95.67 in Amargosa, 90.64 in Beatty, 81, a low of 52 in Goldfield, 79 degrees for the high in Tonopah and Fallon, 51 for the low in Tonopah, 52 for the low in Fallon, Carson City, 72, a low of 49, and Fernley, 75, the low is 53. Now today in Pahrump, we saw mostly sunny skies. Our high today was 94 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest up to 14 miles per hour, 11% humidity, and our sunrise at 5:27 this morning. Now for tonight, still got a couple clouds with some mostly clear skies. Our low is going to be 70 degrees. It is 93 outside currently with 8-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the east. Our humidity at 17% and 7:56 tonight for our sunset. Now looking ahead to that 7-day, still expecting some clouds on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Other than that, we're going to be seeing some sunny skies. You are still expecting to be dealing with those high winds up to 11 to 18 miles per hour pretty much all week long. Now temperature-wise, we're going to start coming out of those triple digits from Tuesday to Thursday. We're going to be in those low hundreds between 100 and 103 degrees, dropping down to 97 on Friday, those high 80s on Saturday and Sunday, and then down to 83 by next Monday. For overnights from Tuesday to Thursday, we're going to be hanging out in about those mid to low 70s, between 72, 74 degrees, down to about those mid to low 60s Friday and Saturday, and then the high to mid 50s from Sunday to Monday. And so with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Janet.
Thank you, Michael. From all of us here at KPVM, thank you for joining us. I'm Janet Errett. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.